afternoon, Wednesday, August 24th. This is the Bat X release show on covers with the man himself, Derek Carty. I'm your co-host, Josh Ingles. Great to see everybody in the chat. As always, coming off a good 4-2 day. Sometimes you see guys like Brubaker yesterday. When we're handicapping football, and especially for pitchers, whatever. 80% of their games, they'll pitch to what they are. 10% of their games, they'll pitch better than they are. And 10% of their games, they'll pitch worse than they are. And Brubaker was just cruising, and we weren't winning that one. But, you and I, we handicapped the LaMonte Jr. perfectly. Ray was cruising. There was a lot of good things yesterday. How'd you feel about the board today?
Yeah, the board's a little emptier than it was yesterday. Yesterday there were a lot of good ones, and we hit on most of them. But today a little emptier, but still a few good ones out there. So we have 3 today for people.
Oh, and then of course I don't think I've ever won a bet that way that Aaron Sanchez got thrown out of the game.
That was wild. I'll take it though.
Yeah, I'll take the fact that Jose Altuve has a short person complex and got fired up by getting his pants hit by that inside fastball from Sanchez, causing the benches to clear, causing the umpires to to ding the Twins with a mound visit. And then when things were going south, he's gone. So there we go. So in saying that, we're going off. We got 3 releases today with some moving lines, so I'll cut the chit-chat short. This is the release procedure. If you're new to the show, we do this because Derek and his projections over at the Bat X, have great influence over the market. So we'll tell you where the best odds are, give everybody some time, load up, sign in, log in, do your thing over at that book. Then we'll tell you what game we're looking at. Again, giving you some time to check out where to find it. Then we'll tell you the prop market. You can load that up, and then we'll follow that with the player, the team, the bet over, under, and making sure everybody here in the chat, who we rely on so well for these numbers and prices across the board, to get the same number. So we are at 3 plays. Are you ready, Derek?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
Perfect. Release 1, we are over at BetMGM. It's been moving at DK. DK has a similar price, but I think it's about 20 points off. Right now, the MGM number is the same price as DK opened. The game in question, Toronto at Boston. The Jays at the Red Sox. Blowout game yesterday. Prop market we're looking at is pitcher outs. Pitcher outs, and we see it actually moving a bit now too. So we'll get right to it for release number 1. Jays, Boston, pitcher outs. We're going Toronto starting pitcher Jose Berrios under 17.5 total outs. Berrios under 17.5 total outs, minus 110 now. This opened at minus 105. We saw it move to minus 125 at DK. 5.9 something ERA, and if you look at his FIP, you look at his expected ERA, those are deserved numbers, are they not, Derek?
Yeah, they are. It's a shame we just missed this number. MGM just opened the market a few minutes ago, and it already moved. Like you said, it's been moving at other books. Pinnacle's negative 190, so we're getting like a huge gap between the best line and kind of the worst line available right now. So I like this one quite a bit. He's going into Fenway. It's the second best hitters park in baseball, essentially. Berrios really hasn't been that great this year. He's facing a good Boston offense. A couple of the guys did leave the game yesterday. Hopefully they're in the lineup today.
Maybe precautionary because it was one-sided, I would think, because they're dealing with lower back tightness.
Yeah. So we got to keep an eye on that, but I do think this is a good number. The Bats projecting 15.1 outs. We're getting 17.5 at basically even money. So this is nice.
Justin says MGM ripped it, minus 117 at Bet Rivers. Toronto media here, road splits are killing Berrios, 6.82 ERA, 9.11 OPS against. That's like a 12 start sample size, 6.9 K per 9 on the road compared to 9.4. Bottom 10 barrel, bottom 10 hard hit, and he's a 4-pitch pitcher, and his fastball, sinker, and changeup are being hit for a combined 300. So there's not a lot to like. If he's missing bats and making contact, that contact is usually hard. So Jose Berrios, under 17.5 total outs. And as we were talking in the chat earlier, Toronto had the off day on Monday. They won big yesterday. The bullpen hasn't had much action, so maybe at the first sign of distress with Berrios, Schneider might go to the pen earlier more than that. So we got that. We got that number. Lock that in quick. Thank goodness. We are starting release number 2. Boys are over at Bet Rivers. A little afternoon action for the boys and ladies in the chat here. San Francisco at Detroit. That's the 1:10 start today. Jonathan says DK has a 50% profit boost available today. Max bet 250. Thanks for letting everybody know, Jonathan. Giants, Tigers, 1:10 start. Prop market. We are going to hits. Take your time. Go down to hits if your book doesn't offer hits. This is also a widely available play. I think we're getting an extra 5 points here from Bet Rivers from other books. If you don't have hits, you can use total bases. For release number 2, we are going back to the well. LaMonte Wade Jr. under 0.5 hits, plus 163 as we see the line going there. Now, this is LaMonte Wade Jr. under 0.5 hits. One more time, sorry, plus 163. Now, we see this line going back up, Derek. And I think the only reason is because the starting lineup has been put out, and we know he's hitting in the 2-hole as opposed to he might not get in. What's the pinch hit risk today?
It's about the same as yesterday when it was like 60 to 65%, and we saw he got 2 at bats and then got pulled. Probably more likely to get 3 today.
Yeah.
But it's basically the exact same play. It's a guy who's not a great hitter, who has a high pinch hit risk. Their lefty, Andrew Chafin, pitched yesterday, but he's pitched back-to-back days plenty of times this year, so not super concerning there. So, that's what we're looking at here.
Went pretty much as perfect as it could have gone yesterday with Hutchinson on the short leash, goes through the order. Well, he sees 19 batters. LaMonte's in the 2-hole. Starts the inning off, and then they go right to the lefty, and they changed him immediately. So we know that San Francisco will pull him in the 5th inning with 2 at-bats. So projection, what do you say projection? Just over 3, I would imagine?
Projection for Wade is 0.73 hits. Again, this number is pretty similar to what we're getting yesterday, which is about 1 full hit, implied. So yeah. It's like a coin flip one, but we're getting a coin flip at awesome odds, same as yesterday. So it's the exact same play.
Yeah, exactly. And I was checking your projections. Manning 84 pitches today, so another short leash for a guy just kind of working his way back. And then we're also getting a guy who hits right-handed pitchers at $180 this season. So yeah, it's not like we're taking one of the best hitters on that team. So LaMonte Wade back again, plus 163 over there. That game starts at 1:10 for a little afternoon action. Jumping over to release number 3, still at Bet Rivers. Giants at Tigers. Same game. Release number 3, Bet Rivers for the best price. Widely available play here. Prop market we're looking at, total hits. As we make sure that the number's still there. The number's still there. For release number 3, we're going San Francisco. Joc Pederson under 0.5 hits, plus 185. We got a case of the under hits, and after we've seen what the Giants will do with that lineup just to play the matchup game. I mean, these plus money plays, they've made a lot of people money down the stretch, and these projections are showing well. What do you think, Derek?
Yeah, he was plus 188 when we had the screen up before with the Wade bet. He moved down just a little, but plus 185 still a really good number. It's the same logic as Wade. He doesn't get pinch hit for quite as much as Wade does. Wade's pinch hit risk is like what I'd say, like 60 to 65%. Pederson's more like 40 to 45, but that's still a big number. and it's not baked into these odds. Most books have this plus 160 or so, which is still good, but plus 185 in particular is really nice here. It's a good matchup for these guys. Like, Manning's not a great pitcher. We're going to have to fade those first couple at bats, but the pinch hit risk angle is just one that these hit props they don't account for.
No, and I actually think it's a market that books are starting to catch on to, obviously, and try to figure this out. I mean, what time does the lineups? The lineups are what, 2 hours, within 2 and 3 hours before game time, and that's where you see the biggest movement. I played a McKinstry one yesterday. Didn't start. Oh, sorry. Yeah, didn't start. Came in and got the 2. So there's different ways to play these, but we do know that Joc is in the lineup. He's hitting in the 4 spot today versus Manning, who, like I said, is coming back from he hasn't pitched for most of the season, but 2 of his last 3 starts, gone 7 innings, allowed 4 fewer hits in 2 of those 3. So he can 2.89 ERA. So he does have some elite talent. But
and we have, the lineup today, we have it, which is actually kind of a good thing, I think, for these props right here, because we have LaStella leading off, Wade second, and Joc fourth, all lefties. So it's going to make a lot of sense to throw a lefty out right at the start of that, and hopefully we get some pinch hits in there.
Oh, who's hitting in the 3 hole?
Flores is in the 3 hole. He's a righty, but
so they're going righty lefty, righty lefty.
Yeah, left right left.
Oh, they're leading off left too. Oh, okay,
yeah.
Fantastic. So yes, I love that. And 3 batters, get those guys in. So there we are. We're going on a different route. We missed some numbers. We missed Kyle Wright. That number moved substantially. No.
Yeah, we were looking at Kyle Wright this morning, but the line just moved
plummeted
a bit too much before the show. Still a decent bet. I think he's like minus 150 or so right now under his strikeouts, which is fine if you want to go bet that, but not an official play. He was more like 120 earlier today, and it moved a little too much for us.
Yeah, and that's what happens when, that game's at the 12 o'clock game. That's a super early game, so closer to market, the more vulnerable it is to those movements. So we missed that one, but like we said, Derek knows when and when not to pull the trigger, and today we don't have 6, we got 3, and we're going for different angles, and that's what we'll do here for a Wednesday. So let's recap quickly. Jose Berrios under 17.5 outs. We got that at minus 110. Then we double dipped in the Tigers game. LaMonte Wade Jr. under 0.5 hits plus 163. And then Joc Pederson under 0.5 hits plus 185. That will do it for us today. Follow us on Twitter if you want to follow the plays. We'll be here, and we'll see you back here Friday at 11 a.m.